We are a group of friends. Are we not? We're friends, right?
Sometimes.
Most of the time.
When the Lakers play the Suns, I'm not your friend.
You're just a hater.
And you being a Bell fan might be
I'm
an
not a
issue.
Bears fan.
Yeah, you
I'm not a Bears fan.
you're a Bears fan.
I'm not a Bears fan. I'm
So-
a Mets fan. I'm a Suns fan, and I am a Tar Heel.
No.
But I'm not a Bears fan. I might be a Cal Bears fan. The California Bears. I am not a Chicago Bears fan.
Even then, we may have issue if you're a Cal Bear fan.
You got a problem with Cal? Are you a Stanford guy?
Yeah.
You're a Stanford guy.
I'm a Stanford guy.
I'm a Bruin guy.
So we may have issues there.
We having problems right now. This
Yeah.
long-winded intro
Yeah.
is leading up to. Should we just introduce ourselves, or should we introduce the ideas?
The idea.
The idea. Okay. Well, so I think we should honestly introduce ourselves first. So,
All right.
okay, my name is Aaron,
I'm Jesus.
And I'm Jacob.
and we are nerds. Isn't that fun? To be a nerd.
Yeah, it is. As you can see my room right now, there's Pokemon posters and more Pokemon posters and Persona and Harley Quinn in the background, and there's a Kirby, I think, behind me, or that way.
That's that way.
Yeah. There's
But I mean, he's wearing a Captain American tee. Captain America.
I'm packing right now. I just took the top thing that I have that was clean.
Yeah. But I mean,
that's the nerd thing to do.
It is.
that's just a lazy thing to do. That's not necessarily the nerd thing to do. But more importantly than that, we are here to talk about being fans, of two things that are apparently opposite of each other.
They're very divisive, apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're very divisive. We are nerds who know sports, and this is nerds know sports. Question mark.
Question mark.
It is a question. No, it is a question. It's like, you know.
I think Charles Barkley would disagree with you.
Is Chuck a hater?
Because I mean, obviously that's what he calls all the analytics people.
He calls them dumbest.
He calls them
They're dumbest. They're a bunch of pencil pushers. They don't know how to shoot a basketball and all that.
So I mean,
This and that. That was a little Hank Hill there, but I'm sorry about that. But no, I mean, is it if we were to answer that question right now, the answer is not only do nerds know sports, we love them.
yeah.
I mean, part of being a fan in general is being a little obsessive. Okay.
A little.
Not just a lot. I'm trying to be nice about it, but no. But yeah, most of it is being, obsessive, and that's really where we're coming from. Because I mean, I think the weirdest thing is that people don't understand how you can be obsessive about one, and like
The other.
because I think so. So recently, Star Wars: The Force Awakens opened up.
It was amazing.
I did not watch the movie.
I enjoyed it.
He watched the movie. I did not watch the movie. I had the movie spoiled for me. But this is not about the
Star
movie
Wars,
in any way,
yeah.
shape, or form. It's more about the fandom. But the most interesting thing is if you look up the term sports nerds, you get a lot of people. Strangely, I think it's because Force Awakens just came out. There are a lot of people who went dressed up like stormtroopers, Jedi's. I guess the actual people. So like, I don't know the black guy's name or the girl
Finn
or
and Rey.
Finn and Rey and Kylo Ren and
Yeah.
what's the pilot's name? Poe Dameron.
Yeah,
is his
Poe,
name?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, but Poe Dameron and all these guys are dressed up like that, and people are getting kind of defensive about it because they're like, well, we, are dressed up as Star Wars characters. That's okay. Because you guys get up in your jerseys and you do the same thing, so like don't come at me. And I'm like, you know what? We shouldn't be coming at each other at all because that's like, it's not right. Number one.
I mean, to put it in perspective, the San Francisco Giants have a Star Wars night. They give away Star Wars themed bobbleheads of players. They give fans come in dressed up, like you said, as Jedi and stuff like that. I mean,
We went to the A's version
Yeah,
of
we
it.
went to the A's Star Wars night. They had Star Wars playing with fireworks. So
Yeah.
that was interesting.
Yeah,
So-
they did that here with the River Cats too. The same exact thing at a Star Wars night. So it's like these things can go hand in hand. Everyone had fun. There's people fighting with lightsabers. There was a ton of fun.
Yeah, but I mean, the weirdest part is that people think that they don't, like that they're kind of like on opposite ends of the spectrum. But I mean, if you only like one thing, you can make that argument. But I argue it's more like a fluid dynamic. It's like like finding yourself in the middle isn't wrong. Like neither side is right or wrong. That's one of the points that I want to make about this. But really more than anything else, I wanted to make this kind of like I talked to Jesus about this because we were discussing about like this kind of stuff actually basically all throughout college.
Yeah, we did.
And I wanted Jacob on here because I wanted 3 people. Now I'm kidding.
Yeah, thank you for the invite. Where was I invited to join the
You got an invite.
conversations?
You got an invite.
No, beforehand,
We didn't know each other.
who fault is that?
Your fault.
Why is it my fault?
Because you did not join an anime club in time. That's why.
Yeah.
Hey, I joined. I don't mean both. Yeah, once.
You joined in when you were a junior. It's completely different. Okay. By the way, this is gonna go on a lot of tangents, and I think people like that. But the point is I actually really was interested in doing like this kind of audio stuff when I was in high school. Because I was on the radio, and it's really fun to just have these kind of conversations, and also like podcasting got really big when we got older.
Especially by the time we got to college, it had become really popular. There's all kinds of podcasts. I mean, I follow a couple of 49er podcasts right now. There's some IGN ones that are kind of cool. So I mean, there's a bunch.
I didn't realize it until I started listening to Rooster Teeth, and then found out they actually had a competition. I said, people do this? It took me a while to realize that a lot of people beside them do this on a weekly basis.
Yeah. IGN was actually the one that I started with too, because like IGN had an entire series of podcasts for like all of their gaming coverage. So
They did.
that was cool. That was back in the shout out to IGN. But we're not here to talk about IGN. We're here to talk about us.
Yes.
But so I think what we wanted to discuss today was about being a fan and how like being a nerd and being a sports fan are kind of like
The same thing.
the same thing, yeah. And how we kind of had like to add a personal touch. We kind of want to talk about how we've experienced like the 2 fandoms and how they kind of
Interact.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I would love someone else to talk right now.
Well, you've been doing everything. I thought you were the one who was in
I mean,
control.
I'm the host.
Yeah, that's exactly.
So
that's what I thought.
we were discussing making this like a team. So I'm clearly the captain.
Okay, that's fine.
Captain of the team. I don't know what kind of team we are.
I am the captain of this ship.
No, I'm not gonna look at you. Don't look at you. But I don't know if we're a football team or a basketball team because we love basketball.
And I'm not.
But we all love football.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
So that means you got to be you're number 16 because you're a quarterback. Then I'm guessing.
I would be number 13 or 12.
Okay, that's a quarterback number.
Yeah, I'm not going to be your quarterback number. Don't give me 16.
No, you don't deserve 16.
Whatever, man. Get out of my face. 12. There's more 12s.
Okay, you can't be Tom Brady.
I'm not Tom Brady, man.
You're Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah.
Mr. Cal Bear.
Sure, why not? Sure, why not? You know what?
All right.
Sure, why not?
All right, I can deal with that. Well then,
He
okay.
didn't go to UNC, but then again, nobody went to UNC. That's a
I'll
good
be-
quarterback.
Then if you're the quarterback, then I'll be.
See, that's the thing.
No,
We're not
no,
gonna do this right now. We're gonna actually have sports related anime things in the future.
Okay.
Look out for that.
In the future.
Foreshadowing. Anyways, I really love that there's a video of this so people can like see the stupid things I do. Like this.
I know, right?
But, okay, so actually, as the host, I don't really want to talk that much.
I don't. You don't have to. You
No,
just
you
have.
don't
You're
have
supposed to
to.
bring up the topic.
Yeah, bring up-
and we haven't even got to it
The
yet.
topics are okay. So I think it's gonna have to start with a story. So I'm gonna start talking a little bit about myself.
Okay.
So I went to an anime convention in Northern California, which will remain nameless for now. But they were hosting a panel about nerds. It was kind of like a nerd, like little bit of love kind of thing,
Okay.
and a lot of it was mostly just about being a nerd, which I thought was really interesting because like I never really went to too many panels, so like a lot of the interactions about being a nerd is really mostly just me talking to other nerds. So that's really what that is. So this guy um, talked about being a nerd, and he brought up a couple things that were interesting, like how we're kind of really, I guess, creative because
Yeah.
we can imagine things pretty well. But the thing that just kind of got under my skin a little bit was he did bring up people who watch sports, but he brought it up as kind of like a divisive idea. Like they're different than us. Like they're not basically they don't get us, which I don't like because that seems to indicate that nerds don't get us because we're
Yeah.
nerds that love sports, and I just love to hear how you guys would feel about that whole situation.
Well, honestly, I don't think they should be divisive. One of the problems I think is that we don't realize how we're almost exactly the same. Like you said, the way I obsess over sports is the way I obsess over anime, video games, Lord of the Rings. I mean,
Comic books,
comic books, yeah, anything of that nature. I mean,
TV shows.
I read as much about sports as I do about the other things. I mean, I will sit there, I'll look at stats of every single player that I like. I see what they. So I mean, it's really common. Like I said, I got posters of Kobe Bryant on there. I got Jerry Rice. I got Magic Johnson on that wall.
I just
So
like
I
to
mean,
note that he skipped over Colin Kaepernick.
well, I have to
Yeah.
skip over Colin Kaepernick because Colin Kaepernick, unfortunately, is going to be gone. So
Most likely.
Well, most likely.
no, he's going to be gone. I don't
Okay,
think that's a different
these
thing.
two are Niner fans, so I'd
Yeah.
love to hear them duke it out
But
at
yeah.
one point.
But yeah, I mean, so I mean, I have everything over here. I mean, Mario. I have Super Mario stuff, K-On,
But
Pokemon. So I mean, it doesn't have to be different. It's one of those things where I like sports, and I mean, I like anime. I obsess over both of them, and I think that if you actually tried to interact with each other, as far as sports fans and nerds, you would realize that you're not too much different in the way that you like the things you like. It's all about just being, like I said, just being obsessive over it or knowing as much as you can about a certain thing. I mean, I can tell you right now that there's a lot of people who say they're sports fans or stuff that wouldn't be able to tell you who Gail Goodrich is right now. So I mean,
I'm not.
It's a
I'm not
he's
be.
a
I'm not be honest. I wait until
No, that's
he's
what
a
I'm saying.
basketball player.
that's what I'm saying.
So he's one of the most forgotten.
And the sports nerds are exactly the same. If someone that's really obsessed with sports will know things like that. I mean, it's very similar to the way people would know random facts about a comic book or random facts about an anime. So I mean, it's very similar.
How do you
And,
feel about that?
I understand I grew up basically in a sport house
Mhm.
until I got into anime growing up, but I got to involved with people who are hardcore sport fans, and I got to be involved with people who love anime, basically in the same level, and the characters and the passion for their own topic is the same.
Yeah.
But they want to separate themselves, which I never understand why. And always the issue of, like you were mentioning earlier, that he wanted to divide the groups
Yeah.
for basically no reason that
Yeah.
they do not understand each other.
Yeah, look, I mean, I don't understand
Yeah.
it. I wanted to say this because it's really dumb, but the only divisions you should care about is math, and also if you're a sports fan, you care about the divisions because
Yeah.
those are your rivals, and you don't like them.
Exactly.
And it's illogical, completely illogical. What did Philadelphia ever do to me? Nothing. But screw the Phillies, because I'm a fan. I'm a Mets fan.
Yeah. Exactly why I hate the Warriors, the Kings,
Mhm.
and the Suns.
But to be honest, don't you
I like how
hate
you don't
every team in
even.
the division
The Suns.
in Philadelphia?
You should. You can and you should. It's
Yeah.
illogical. But
It's illogical, but yes, you should hate them. Like I said, I hate every team in my division.
in the Pacific Division
Yep.
of basketball.
I hate them.
And
I hate the Seahawks. I hate the Rams. I hate the Cardinals.
Well, you should hate the Seahawks.
Yeah, I hate the Seahawks.
We all hate the Seahawks.
We all hate the Seahawks.
But yeah, but it's like it's the same thing. Like in baseball, obviously,
Yeah, the
it's the same thing.
Dodgers.
Well, forget the Dodgers. I don't know why I looked at him.
No, why do you at me?
Come on.
I don't watch baseball. You know that.
Right.
Okay.
Beat LA.
No, none of that.
All right. Anyways, but yeah, like that's the kind of stuff that I think was really like kind of questionable, and like it's weird because I do feel like being a nerd who knows sports or being a sports person who is a nerd is actually not as uncommon as you think. Like,
It isn't.
I think it's actually really common these days because I feel like we're in a situation where like the nerdy people are kind of like super common. Like if they weren't, comic book movies wouldn't be making this much. Star
Like
Wars
Star
would,
Wars, exactly,
would not
yeah.
be making this much.
It is, I think, a really common thing. It's just think that a lot of people like to keep it under the, like keep it hush hush,
Yeah,
try
a
to keep
little
it
under the wraps. Yeah.
under the radar. Because I remember when I was in high school, I was in honors and AP classes, and I played on sports teams. And a lot of my basketball teammates loved things like Naruto, and they loved playing video games, they loved doing all this, but they never wanted to talk about it. And it was like,
Mhm.
I mean, there's nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, it's all good. And then, but there were so many of them that were just like that. They were either scared or, I don't know, just didn't want it.
And that's the funny thing too. When I was growing up in high school, I wanted the totally opposite. Like I never knew anyone really who were in the middle with
Yeah.
myself. And I know a lot of people who are in the anime, like fandom
Yeah.
anime club at my high school. I mentioned sport once. I basically got dead. Like
Yeah.
basically say,
That's kind
well,
of
no, yeah, then I was girlfriend with all the football players,
Mhm.
and none of them really like anime. They say, well, I'm in the middle, so I
But
really
you can
had.
talk to both.
I could talk to both, but
Yeah.
ideally that they they just said that it didn't have actually normal, and I found more about it when I got to college when a lot of people or like myself who love anime,
Yeah.
who love sports.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Actually, I wanted to bring up the fact that one time, me and Jesus were at anime club, and we were watching the Grizzlies play the Spurs. You remember this?
And then the Lakers versus the Hornets.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
I remember that day.
But yeah, like the big thing was like we were watching like the number one seeded Spurs being upset by the Grizzlies. It was amazing. It's like I'd only seen one 8 seed overtake a 1 seed before in my life, and it was the
Warriors
Warriors.
and the Mavs.
And the Mavs, yeah.
Yeah.
But the most interesting part was people were looking at me like I was crazy. I was flipping out. I was like
What is going on?
exactly, yeah. People were like, "What is he okay? Like, what is happening right now?" Like, and the funniest part was like I have nothing to gain with the Grizzlies beating the Spurs other than the Spurs losing because I hate them. But
So you did have something to gain.
yeah, but no, I did because I was like, yeah, Manu Ginobili missed that three, or like
Yeah.
Tony Parker, yeah, you turned the ball over, stuff like that. I actually, if we probably look at the stats, that probably didn't happen during.
But
the
yeah,
game. But you know what I mean. But like, people are like, oh god, like you need to calm down. But these are the same people that we were cheering, hollering for animes, and it's like, oh, why can't we understand each other? Like
I think we were watching Korewa Zombie Discount at that
yeah,
time.
yeah.
And then that's when people were going crazy when the stupid stuff would happen. Everyone would go cheering and start laughing and going crazy. And
Yeah.
they're doing exactly what you
Yeah,
did.
exactly.
And then we had our moment too.
Yeah,
One time,
geez,
yeah, when we wanted to put on who were playing. It was Thursday night football. We went to overtime, and we actually were watching it in a club too.
Yeah,
Was it the Rams? I think it was the Rams playing, but it was my game.
Yeah,
But the Rams were playing, so we went to overtime, and the winner would have dead the shot at the playoffs.
yeah.
And then everyone would watch it. They look, yeah, why are you watching this? It's overtime. We have half an hour, 20-minute view. Club starts. We want to see who wins.
Yeah, exactly. And and the true genius of it all is I was vice president of an anime club, and these two were presidents. Isn't that just that's just what like
Yeah.
it gets
Yeah.
me. No, but that's the thing is that we don't need to separate ourselves like
We
more than
don't.
anything else, and that's really what I want to get across more than anything else. Is that you don't really need to like just feel like it's us against them or it's like us against the world because I mean it's weird because nerds can be really harsh to each other.
Like, yeah, I've learned that firsthand. I mean,
But like because with like being a nerd, a lot of times we found kind of like situations where it's like if you don't like what they like, then there's nothing really to talk about, which is not really cool or really how you want to be going around life.
Yeah.
But like these are things that kind of like happen. But so this is how I kind of want to start it. I feel like for whatever reason, like I said, it's not that uncommon to find nerds out in the wild. Out in the wild.
We're not Pokemon.
No, we're not. But out in the wild nowadays. But it's kind of harder for like people like us to like I guess I don't know, maybe talk or like like be as well known. Maybe is what I mean to say. But the weirdest part is that I feel like anime culture is kind of getting to a point where it's maybe not the most divisive, but it's got a little ways to go to understanding each other.
Anime culture is tough because there's so many different genres, and especially because the cultural difference too that's going on is that Japanese culture is so different than American culture that some of the things that get over here can cause a little bit of controversy because it's just it's so either risque or just different than what you would normally see on American TV. So some people just don't get that, so they see it and then it's like, oh my God, what are you watching? And it's like.
Yeah, I had that moment actually. It's one like the whole culture thing, and I did like one of the one that like was so bizarre. Even in Japan, at some point, where the anime Oemo, the whole story type of that. Yeah. So
which one is Orema?
My little sister can't possibly be this cute.
Yeah. When it got over here, it was so bizarre trying to see people try to watch that.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, one of the most random anime that it made sense. In Japan, it's supposed to be a whole story type thing, but you try to take that story and bring it to the United States, they don't get the whole concept behind it.
Yeah.
So it made it even more difficult to try to explain it.
I mean, there's like colloquialisms,
I think.
Like that just happens. That's not even necessarily like an anime thing because that just happens with translation.
I would say it's any differences in culture in general. Whenever something gets brought over here from a different country, it's always like that. If the cultures are so different that when you bring anything over it,
it's a little different. Yeah, totally. Like there's a little bit of culture shock here.
It is
definitely. It's getting a lot deeper than I thought it'd be. Yeah. No, but like I think the thing with anime is it's not maybe as mainstream as like because I mean we know anime, we've been in clubs, we've gone to conventions and all that stuff, but like kind of like on a grand scale of like maybe this country or whatever, or even like the nerddoms, it's not as big. I don't know.
Honestly, I think that's tough to decide because I mean it depends what you're talking about. Because I mean there's a lot of anime like Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho, all these old anime, even just like Sailor Moon and stuff like that. Pokemon for sure. I mean if you talk about that, you can talk about that stuff to almost anyone. So I mean that's for some in one perspective it is very very mainstream because. Those are cultural icons even here in the United States. But when you get to things like maybe like K-On! Or some random anime like that,
I mean,
that's a little different.
I have a question because I mean we grew up with Toonami. We're definitely a Toonami generation.
Yeah. We were fortunate enough
to
have
that. These kids.
And
Toonami's still on. It's just not the same.
It's not the same, but it was gone for a few years.
But even so, I still think that it has a big impact because things like Attack on Titan. Kill La Kill and stuff like that. Those are still very, very popular.
But like, what I was gonna actually, did you?
Well, would that Toonami or would that still Adult Swim?
Adult Swim on Saturdays is Toonami.
And Toonami, I know they changed. They used that name for a while, and
actually,
they went to
Toonami used to be the entire block of Adult Swim on Saturdays, but now it's like
4 hours, right?
Maybe 6 hours or so.
Oh, okay.
It gets through an entire rotation, which is actually it gets through one rotation and it has a second rotation, which is actually how Toonami used to be. I would know because I used to stay up.
I know. Yeah.
But
go Toonami.
Yeah, we can probably talk about that, but
later.
I got a couple funny stories about that. But I think the most interesting thing is I was actually going to ask was like because you said like things like K-On! Maybe not as mainstream.
Yeah.
Maybe mainstream for anime circles, maybe not mainstream for like everybody.
Okay, yeah.
I think the reason behind that is because it wasn't like maybe Toonami. Because Toonami is, I think it's easier to like. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But I think it's a little easier to just turn on TV because this is how I grew up.
I think the main problem is that Toonami is probably one of the big ones, but there's things like most people get there. A lot of people get it from like Netflix and Hulu and stuff like that. So I think that's where the more mainstream things are. If you see it on Netflix, Hulu, Toonami and stuff like that. That's an easy way for someone to get into anime because there's a lot of it on there, and the genres it has a lot of different genres and stuff. So you can get into just about any type of anime in there.
But I mean, like, okay, so what I mean is like, okay, it's easier to get into something that's like on Netflix, Hulu,
TV,
Toonami,
yeah.
but like Crunchyroll is pretty big.
Well, the
honestly.
thing with Crunchyroll too is that it still doesn't have like
It doesn't have like the same pull, but it's pretty popular.
it is
I
now.
would
Yeah.
argue.
Yeah.
It is. It's
And-
definitely
And
popular.
it is a growing company.
Definitely, because I
Yeah.
remember when we were freshmen in college, and I had a Crunchyroll membership, and I was like, the variety it had wasn't as nearly as big as it is now. Now it has so much different
Yeah,
anime.
definitely.
Oh yeah, I know for sure that I was watching it last night.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, I mean, but like, but what I'm saying is that like it's like okay, so like when I was growing up, I remember being a kid when Pokemon came out.
Oh, I do.
I remember the day it came out. Like I don't remember the exact date.
But I remember watching it for
I
the
remember
first
watching
time.
it as a
I
kid.
remember I was a kid. I saw a commercial on it. I was at my babysitter's place, and I got like it got to a certain point in time where I was like, oh, that looks cool, right? And then the day of it happened, and I was like, oh my god, we got to go see it. We have to go. So we like ran back to like my babysitter's place, turn on the TV, Pokemon's on, man, and that
It
was,
was
like
amazing.
my thing. Because I mean, I remember being a kid, getting out from school,
And wanting to watch.
going home,
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
watching
Pop-
cartoons,
Yeah.
and it didn't matter if it was from America
Yeah.
or if it was from Japan or wherever.
Wherever, yeah.
It was
Exactly.
just a cartoon.
It was a cartoon for me because I was a child.
Yeah, and we are the generation who knew Pikachu would be a joke.
Pikachu, he argues that Pikachu is a jerk.
He was a joke.
He
He
was.
was in the
In
first series.
in the
Okay.
first episode right off the bat.
I mean, yeah, but Pikachu got better. Pikachu
Yeah,
he got better.
he also lost a little weight, so he got he became a better Pokemon.
I liked the fat. I liked that Pikachu.
I kind of miss Fat Pikachu.
He was cool.
But I mean, but even Ash's Pikachu wasn't supposed to be Fat Pikachu because he had remember because when he beat Raichu, he had look we're nerds, okay, I swear we're nerds. But you know, it's like remember when he beat Raichu, he learned was it agility?
Agility.
Yeah, and that's what got him. So like you know, Pikachu could run.
He could.
He had moves.
He did.
He had better footwork. That's why he beat.
Mhm.
Let's see, we're connecting it. He had better footwork. He could run routes. Raichu could run routes.
Raichu.
You get that thunderstone, and suddenly, man, you don't know what a route is.
Oh god.
But yeah, like, but you know, I remember that. I remember that being like a huge thing, like when I was a kid, because it was like you know, it was like the first time Ash had like a legitimate like moment where he's like, maybe I should turn Pikachu into a Raichu. Yeah.
But then it wouldn't have been that cute Pikachu anymore.
Yeah, but then he could have. We don't know if
He
he
would
would
have
have
lost.
We don't know.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't because there's no way we would have known.
But we all know this from playing Pokemon games that if you let your Pokemon level up before evolving,
yes.
they're better.
Yeah. Okay.
Pokemon.
Yeah, because you get the better stats or whatever. Right?
Better stats,
Yeah.
better moves.
Yeah, I
There's
don't-
certain moves that you don't learn unless you know.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, no, I do remember that. I remember going
on.
through the entire like Emerald playthrough, like trying really hard to get my Swampert to like where I wanted it. So where I wanted it was I wanted it to know Hydro Pump, and the problem was is I got to the point where I think it was the third gym leader is the electric one, right?
Yeah.
In Ruby Sapphire and Emerald, and I needed him to be Marsh Tomp, because Marsh Tomp was part ground, so like I could actually get through. But the problem was is I was like 2 levels away from getting my Kip, so I just kept grinding like crazy just so my Kip could learn Hydro Pump. But yeah, like I remember watching DBZ, which was kind of a like struggle at times because it was like
All filler. I love Dragon Ball Z though. So Dragon Ball Z
I
has
love
a
it,
special
but
place.
like, one by take 10 episodes.
Yeah, and then honestly, that was like, but like when you're a kid, you're like eating that
You're so
up.
high. You're so
Well,
high.
it gives like the effect.
Yeah, because like I mean, I remember like being like, oh my god, I can't wait till tomorrow. Maybe
Maybe they'll-
something's gonna
Something will
happen.
happen.
And then nothing.
Nothing
Yeah,
happened.
exactly. No, but the craziest part is when it did happen. Like, I
You're so hyped.
I was insanely hyped when like Goku became Super Saiyan for the first time.
That was amazing.
That was unbelievable, dude. Like, it got to me when like Vegeta died, and these are spoilers that are like ancient. So, like,
Yeah,
Okay.
we're over 10 years old and I really spoiled,
it
right?
is insanely over. Like I remember.
Did Dragon Ball Z come out in the 80s?
No, dude.
That
Because
were good.
look, dude. I mean, when I was a kid, I had a pencil case for GT. When I was a kid.
I know because it was already out in Japan.
Exactly. So I had no idea who Trunks was. I didn't know who Pan was. I just knew that I had the pencil case, and I was like, why does Goku look like a child? And then Dragon Ball came out.
And you're like, oh.
No, because the problem was DBZ came out, and then Dragon Ball came out. That's the
It did.
problem. And like we didn't know any better because we were kids. Like people now, you guys do not understand like the fact that you have this like foresight to be like, oh my god, now like DBZ
Came after.
came after, so you could watch from Dragon Ball all the way because it does go all the way
It
until
does.
DBZ. But I didn't know that because growing up,
Toonami was evil and put Dragon Ball Z on. Actually, no, they did the right thing.
They
They did
did
the
the
right
right
Dragon
thing.
Ball Z is more interesting than Dragon Ball,
really,
so.
actually, I heard some people don't think so.
I think in the grand scheme of things, in terms of getting people.
In grand scheme of things, it did help because you're a kid, you didn't really want to see going on, you want to see all the action from DBZ.
Yeah.
We all seen both, obviously, right?
I've seen
As a kid, which one would be more entertaining to watch?
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon
Right, but
Z.
see, exactly, they
Dragon Ball
were
Z was way
aiming
cooler.
for the kid.
Yeah,
Dragon Ball Z was way cooler.
that's what you do. You get them with Dragon Ball Z, you hook them in, and then you're like, Dragon Ball.
But Dragon Ball, like I legitimately thought
Yeah.
Dragon Ball was a prequel, not the actual
Yeah, I know.
starting point. Because it's like the same thing happened to me with G Gundam and Wing. Because Wing came out first on Toonami, and this is the problem, is that we watched this all on Toonami, but it came out on Toonami, and then it's like making noises. But yeah, sorry about that. But like Wing came out first, and then G Gundam came out. And G Gundam was awesome, but G Gundam looked funny to me because it was older. Because the
Yeah.
animation was like older, and that was the big problem. It was funny.
Honestly, the funny thing about that too is that's another divisive point. That divides so many people is animation styles. Like I know so
Oh
many
my
people
God,
that
yeah.
won't watch old anime. Just
Yeah.
I'll recommend it to them, but they're like the art style is so terrible. It's like, but the story is so good. You have to watch it.
And one other thing as well, like, it doesn't even have to be age right. It could be art style of today, and you
Yeah.
watch it just
Yeah.
because of art style.
Yeah, and I mean, to those people, more power to them. If you really want to watch something that looks pretty, go for it. I mean,
Yeah, honestly,
you're just not gonna get to see like the stuff that we grew up with. But this isn't like
it's not that bad.
not that bad, but I mean, we love it. So
Yeah,
it's
we
like,
love it.
We want other people.
we
to
want
love it.
everyone
I
to
know
love
that's what I'm
it.
saying.
And-
Because I try my best to not worry too much about the art style. My pretty art style is good and it's nice and all, but I try my best when I'm watching something to care more about the story. Another big thing for me is music. I play piano, so music to me is it's a passion of mine. So I like listening to the background music and stuff. But I mean, I think I love just caring for the story, the characters. There's a lot more than just art style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely so. I mean, yeah. What are you gonna say?
And I think one of the major things too that we want to help, and today we all want to share the old anime we grew up with. I think too, most of the old anime we got a chance to watch, we were fortunate to watch more milestone anime for the industry.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
allowed them to make the K-ons!
Yeah.
And the Oemos and all the other animes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because we grew up in like either just right after or during like the big ones. So,
I think that was part of the problem too. Is that we had, even though we weren't that much, there wasn't that big of a difference in age. We were at the age gap. It was big enough to where some of them didn't grow up with Toonami like we did, and some of the
Yeah.
stuff. So their first experiences with anime were newer style things,
Yeah.
and that's what they're used to. So
like, I mean, somebody gave me crap because we watched Yu Yu Hakusho. And people-
What?
Yeah, somebody gave me crap because we were watching Yu Yu Hakusho.
remember, some people didn't like GTO either because of
Yeah,
that.
that's weird, right?
And GTO is so good.
GTO was pretty funny.
I'm trying to remember what GTO then. Is that the teacher one?
Yeah,
The
Straight
teacher.
Teacher
Yeah.
Onizuka.
Yeah.
That anime is actually pretty funny.
I love that anime.
I haven't gotten to. I don't really know if there's a logical conclusion to that anime. Maybe he gets kicked out of the school. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm not spoiling anything because I don't know what the answer is. Like,
And let me fair.
We'll talk about that.
It's over 10 years old.
We'll talk about that after.
I think that fair. If you're over 10 years old, it couldn't be considered a spoiler anymore.
I don't want
so
to.
this is how the next Ava movie ends. No, like,
You know how it ends? I'm
No,
going
I
to take
don't,
that down.
I don't
I don't want to spoil GTO just because, even though that's a pretty old anime, that's one that I know a lot of people haven't actually seen. So.
I mean, but and if for whatever reason you're listening to this and you've never seen it and you do start to watch it, I'm pretty happy that you would make that decision.
It's great. The English dub, I like it just because Steve Blum, but Steve Blum talks to Steve Blum, but if you want to watch it, watch it. Yeah.
So English dubbing, yeah.
Oh, you want to talk about that?
Since he mentioned
totally,
it.
Yeah, totally.
Isn't me until I know a lot of people have complained about how the dubbing is now compared to the past.
Honestly,
do you want the more corny dub or try to give it a chance?
I've watched a lot of different English dubs. Yeah. I think the biggest thing is that, especially with newer anime, it's different, but with older anime, I think it's more of a nostalgia thing. Is if you grew up with the English dub, you're gonna like the English dub more because honestly, I after going back and watching like the English dub, say Pokemon, I love the Japanese version more of Pokemon.
Really?
Yeah, I actually really like the Japanese version more.
I actually, I wonder, like the same thing is because I think it's whichever one you heard first.
Yeah.
Because I was the same way. Because like I was like huge. I loved Inuyasha growing up. I loved that anime. It's so good. But like it was all on Netflix, but it was all in Japanese, and I couldn't watch it because it wasn't that I couldn't stand the voice. Like number one. My biggest thing is I like to watch TV and do work at the same time.
Yeah.
And I've always been like that, but like I couldn't do both because it's like it's in Japanese. I have to read what's going on, even though I knew what was happening because like I've watched the entire series basically at that point. But like the biggest problem was that like I actually watched the movies. I watched the first 3 in English first, and then I did the Japanese subtitle route. It still feels the same, but it's just one of those things where if I were to revisit it, I would probably prefer it in English because that's what I'm used to because that's part of my childhood. But it's also because it's like if I'm introduced to an anime and it's in English first, probably gonna stick with it.
That's an iffy one for me because I tend on newer anime I tend to go with just the Japanese versions just because that's what's usually easy. It's easier to find.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can go back and forth. I mean, I've watched quite a few anime and just switch back and forth. It just depends on what I feel like watching, or if I'm watching it with other people. I know some people like watching it in English.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I try to get like, say with like the Miyazaki movies, those are good for kids. So I'll watch those in English with my niece and nephews and stuff, but I'll watch them in Japanese by myself. Some of my friends.
Yeah.
But I mean, it just really depends. I think.
Yeah, so one of the things, and I forget how sometimes when they do English dub, they change some stuff. Remember the old Digimon dub? I was watching the sequel, the new one that came out, and I forgot like some name completely changed. Like for to do Odo, and then I forgot Matt name wasn't Matt in Japanese.
Yeah.
It started with a Y. Who is that guy? And they oh my God, you gotta be kidding me, that Matt.
Yeah.
Cool.
The only one I think was funny that Joe name was still Joe in Japanese, but without the E.
I think part of that it depends on the subbing group.
Yeah.
The big one is that for kids and stuff like that. Some of the more kids stuff that was on like Fox Kids or Kids WB back in the day when they had those were done specifically for kids. So they tried to make it more Americanized. I mean that's why you have rice balls becoming jelly donuts and Pokemon and stuff like that. Because a kid's not going to know what a rice ball is.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, they totally...
As a kid, I didn't even question it. As a kid, I saw the meaning, I was like, oh, that's a Japanese donut then, I guess.
Yeah, no. When I was a kid, like, because Asian, like, I was like, they don't make donuts out of rice. Like I knew it because I was like, because he gets one of the times Brock straight up gets a rice cooker and he starts he's like, oh, I'm making donuts. I'm like, you don't make donuts with a rice cooker. like am I like missing something here? Like how is he doing that? Like
I got you.
But yeah, totally. I was the exact same way because I'm like, but when I'm a kid, I'm like. Dude,
as a kid,
dude ain't making a donut. He's making a rice something.
I think that's what it is though, because especially when you're selling merchandise here in the United States and you want kids to buy it and tell their parents, you don't want them to say something that they can't pronounce or something. You want something that's easy. Matt's easy. I'm like, I want the Digimon toy of Matt So
yeah.
so that's easy for them. I mean,
Was there ever actually Digimon toys, man?
yes.
Okay.
There was Digimon
I
toys.
know
Like
there were Digimon toys because I had
Yeah.
Garurumon, I think.
Yeah.
I had Agumon.
I wanted Agumon. I went as Agumon for Halloween once.
I did too.
I think the year before I went as Pokemon.
Or same with Yu-Gi-Oh. I mean, you don't want people.
Yeah.
But Joey's name. I mean, it's so easy for a kid to say Joey.
Yeah, but I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh right now is dominated by like adults.
Now.
But I mean, it makes sense because a lot of them were our age.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
they're all our age.
Because they were like, they were young when all the really disgusting cards came out. Like, I'm talking
Monster Reborn.
Solemn. I'm talking Pot of Greed.
You mean all the good cards?
Raigeki.
But that's the whole
Harpy's Feathers.
Raigeki is actually
back.
legal.
I know, it's back at
and
one.
it's not that good. That's the insane part.
Back then it was.
It was, but now it's like bad, which is crazy. Like, you think a card that destroys this is going to turn into a Yu-Gi-Oh thing, but you think a card that destroys your entire opponent's monsters would never be bad. But
so many effects. There's so many monsters with good effects.
They float. They float now. That's the thing. That's the difference.
Some monsters you want them to go to the graveyard, so that's okay.
But that's the point. But that's what I'm saying. Like, back then we didn't know. We didn't know because if someone hit you with a Raigeki back then, you're probably done. Like it's over.
That's back then. The monsters were so vanilla back then. So now it's like
Dark Destroyer.
They make it so complicated now.
it's like I don't know.
I don't think it's that
It's more complicated compared to
It is definitely
now
more complicated than back in the day.
Yeah.
But everybody also needs to remember that the anime did not
Don't buy this
indicate what was happening in the real world.
Yeah, exactly. I was watching it
wish
last
it did
night.
sometimes.
I was watching the episode when Joey took on Bones and played
yeah.
Call the Haunted as a magic card.
No, he summons
Call
the
the
Haunted.
Haunted.
He says, I activate Call the Haunted. So first it's in his hand, and then he slams it down where the monster should be, and he summons Call the Haunted.
Yeah, and he summoned monster that destroyed
So bad.
a zombie type.
Yeah. But, I mean, Call the Haunted was so busted in real life for a while. It had abandoned a couple times. It's actually not that bad now. Again, this is turning into the Yu-Gi-Oh cast, but it's honestly not that bad now. See, look,
I don't know.
nerds, sports fans, we're all the same.
Yes.
On my YouTube feed, there's like NBA highlights and then Yu-Gi-Oh talk. So like, it's real.
I played Yu-Gi-Oh for a little while, but then I stopped again.
But I mean, you still play card games, right?
Yeah, so I play White Shorts, which is like the most it's one of the nerdiest card games you can play, but it's amazing.
Actually, in the future, I want to do a collectible card discussion.
We should. I can show you my Kobe Bryant rookie card.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's a little preview if people are interested. But like collecting like rookie cards and like your favorite players' cards, you can't do anything with them but look at them really. And
You can't.
I look at the stats and like be like, oh man, this is awesome. Remember when they were younger?
I know, right?
but like and
Making it sound old.
I got
no,
that.
but
I got Lamar Odom's rookie card with autograph. He's in the Clippers uniform, man. Clippers.
Yeah, but I mean, like, yeah, because we were at a card shop. We were at a card shop here in this area. But
Shout out.
But we were at a card shop and they had, like comic books and card games and all that stuff. And we went over and they had a Gail Goodrich signed card. You were looking at it, and I was like, dude, I don't think most people even remember who Gail Goodrich was.
I honestly think he's the forgotten superstar of the Lakers because he was good. People forget that during the 33 win streak that the Lakers had, Gail Goodrich was on that team as a linchpin of that team.
Yeah.
People forget that Elgin Baylor retired that season, 7 games into the season,
But
I think.
people don't even remember
I
Elgin
know.
Baylor. That's a crazy
That's true
part.
too. I think he's more known than someone like Gail Goodrich. So
I think Gail Goodrich is probably more forgotten, because he was like a superstar, but he wasn't like that next level of superstar.
I think part of the problem the reason is too is that when you have Elgin Baylor, when you have Jerry West, when you have Wilt Chamberlain on when you have those players on your team, it's hard to be remembered.
I mean, yeah, because you could say the same about like the 72 win Bulls, because you remember Pippen, Jordan, obviously, Rodman.
Yeah.
Do you remember anybody else?
Kerr.
Kerr was on the team.
Kerr, Grant, Ron Harper.
Harper is the one that everybody forgets. People say Kerr, and they thought Kerr started. Kerr was the backup. Ron Harper has 5, isn't he?
I think he has 5-3 with the Bulls and 2 with the Lakers.
Actually, no, I think he actually has all 5 with the Bulls.
Does it?
I think so.
Ron Harper? I
think he was... No, because remember, B.J. Armstrong was on that... Bulls team.
Oh, I forgot about BJ.
See, that's what I'm saying.
You're right.
And do you see how seamless this went from a Yu-Gi-Oh discussion to basketball? Isn't that crazy, y'all?
That's true though. It's like I forgot about BJ Armstrong. Man.
Dude, I remember PJ Armstrong for like really bad reasons. But anyways, but yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like you know, that tangent was totally what we're getting at here. But back to anime and not Yu-Gi-Oh and basketball. But
Yu-Gi-Oh is technically anime.
Yeah, but we weren't talking about the anime. We were talking about the card game. If we wanted to talk about the anime, we can totally talk about the anime.
The anime is so different in America.
Well, see, because the thing about the anime was outside of it, because I read the manga as a kid, is really violent.
I have the original 7 right there in English.
I'm missing number 3. Someone stole it from me.
Don't steal mine.
I'm not going to steal yours. I had so many chances to buy a new one. I'm honestly just going to not have a full set of the original 7. But anyways, no, because it was way different because it's really violent.
It's really dark and violent.
There's no Shadow Realm, man. They're
shadow.
dying. Those people are dead. Pegasus was supposed to die. Again, this is a spoiler, but it is old.
Spoiler alert.
Pegasus was supposed to die. Merrick's dad doesn't get sent to the Shadow Realm. He's dead, y'all.
I know.
Spoilers.
Which changes his motivation so much. Like, it's so much more... It
makes so much
more sense. Yeah, why he's like that. It's because his dad died.
No, because his dad died, but his dad was an abusive jerk.
I know, but still.
Spoilers. But,
Don't tell them this.
Why? I mean, who is watching the first series of Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now who does not know Merrick's dad was a jerk?
I don't know.
If they're out there,
you're way behind.
You're pretty behind. Because
I applaud you for starting something new.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, totally. Watch it all and have the courage to love them. Shout out to Stardust.
Except don't watch any of the new ones. Just watch the first series
watch
with Yu-Gi-Oh.
GX.
No.
Watch 5Ds. 5Ds is even the one that
card games on motorcycles.
I didn't much care for 5Ds, but
No.
5Ds. I heard 5Ds was good. Okay, we're gonna turn this into a Yu-Gi-Oh anime argument.
I wasn't a fan of 5Ds, even though I did watch it.
I wasn't either.
I watched it. I watched the whole series. I wasn't a fan of it.
I didn't like it. You know, the craziest part is I had a conversation with somebody, and he thought that was like
What?
between that and the first series. Those were the best two in his opinion. My personal favorite is GX.
I would say that I think honestly the best one is probably going to be GX, but because I love the original series so much, that is my favorite. But I do think the best is probably GX.
I think the new one, Arc 5 or Arc
I haven't even watched any of that.
I heard Arc V is good. They've been they have multiple dimensions.
I didn't watch Zexal either.
I actually like Zexal. The thing about Zexal is really annoying. Like if you even like consider watching this, the problem is, and this is I'm gonna put this in perspective. The main guy in Zexal acts like Jaden Yuki has none of the talent, but he thinks he does. That's the crazy part. So he's like kind of jokey, whatever, right? But Jaden was like not arrogant. That kid is so arrogant in like the first few episodes, man.
Okay.
Like I haven't viewed like I think like maybe like 20 or so. Like it's a few because it's a long anime, but like that dude is so arrogant. Like he was so annoying. Like, but I actually really like Zexal. I thought Zexal was really good.
Okay.
I thought Zexal was pretty spot on. Honestly.
Pretty spiffy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Zexal was pretty good.
Okay.
GX is still my favorite because I love Jade.
But I think that's probably the best, but my favorite will always be the original.
I mean,
Let's just ignore the seal of Orichalcos and all that.
The Dragons of Legend was so bad.
Yeah, let's just ignore that. We'll pretend that didn't exist.
But it didn't in the manga. That's the thing. It did not.
Oh, that was the additional one they added.
That was a anime only arc, right?
It's a filler arc.
I think because it goes from the original, which I think they called it Zero or something like that.
That one's kind of not. It's kind of separate. You're talking about the one that does like the first manga, the first episode.
Yeah.
That's separate from the original.
That's a separate series. Yeah.
That's a completely separate thing. Yeah.
Okay.
It's its own entity.
So then the original is
the one that we always
Duelist Kingdom.
Yeah, Duelist Kingdom.
And then Battle City, and then
Seal of Orichalcos.
No,
it would.
Noah's Ark.
Oh yeah.
Noah's Ark.
Everyone forgets about that.
I actually enjoyed that one.
Actually,
It was an interesting idea.
That's
by having a
That's
deck
exactly-
guardian.
I wanted
They-
a deck master.
The deck master. They made a game basically based on that
Yeah.
for the PS2.
I
forget what game it
remember.
was.
You remember the RPG, like the on the GameCube?
Yeah.
Oh, Fallout Kingdoms.
Yeah, the False Bound.
I
Kingdom.
did own that game.
I own that game too.
Everyone did.
The Joey part kind of made me mad because you can't win. There's no way to win the Joey part in the story. The story canonically, Joey doesn't win
Yeah.
because Joey's actually in Yugi's arc. In the so you play as Yugi or Kaiba first,
Yeah.
and then once you beat both of them, you can go
Yeah.
to Joey.
Yeah.
And Joey is like a bandit king. I'm not making this
I
up.
know.
He's like a bandit king, and then because Kaiba in this world is like the guard for the kingdom or whatever, he
Yeah.
snuffs it out like Joey. Also, spoilers again. This is an old game. This is on the GameCube. It's 2 generations back. But yeah, like Kaiba does that, and there's no way to win. Like, you win obviously. You can get to the end of the story, but I mean, Joey
Don't
doesn't.
win.
No, you win with Yugi, I guess, because Joey doesn't really win. Like, Joey is the most hated on character in his own universe. Even though, like, if a dude in real life, if there were, like, only maybe, like, 5 Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, and the dude topped, like, 4 or even 3 of them,
It'd be a big deal.
top 4 each time, because he got top 4 Metal City, he got
They did top 4, and he got top 2.
He got
and
second. He
Kingdom.
got second to Duelist Kingdom because you don't count.
You don't count Pegasus, yeah.
Pegasus was the
The
part of the
champ.
prize.
Yeah, it was part of it.
Yeah, but like that dude would be like that guy would go down to
He was a
history
god.
as like a god, man. Because people would be
The
going up to him.
consistency.
Exactly, they'd be like, "What? How should I play this deck?" Like all this stuff. Like yeah, Yugi won it all, and obviously Yugi's the best duelist according to that. But it's like. Dude's topping everything. Like this
He
guy
is.
has skills. This guy is not. This guy was winning with legendary fisherman
And
and insect queen.
he
and
should have
Jinzo.
beaten Eric too. He should have beaten
Yeah, he should
Eric.
have beat Merrick. But
So if it,
so many people should have beat Merrick.
yeah, everyone
Mai
did.
should have beat Merrick.
Maybe.
Mai should beat Merrick because Wing Dragon of Raw was like the Deus Ex Machina of that anime because it's like
It had unlimited effects.
nobody knew what it did.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what it did.
They did it, and that was how it's supposed to be.
And even the real life version is like insane amount of effects. It also has the most forms out of all the God cards. It actually has
The
multiple
ball
forms.
form.
There's a ball form. There's going to be a phoenix form. There's the regular form. They even have the guy who looks like Ra, where you summon him and he summons.
Oh,
three guys,
yeah.
Although the problem with that thing is that you can't normal summon again, so you can't really summon the God card, which is kind of the problem with that card.
Yeah.
But went back to the Yu-Gi-Oh discussion.
No.
And Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Yu-Gi-Oh anime is pretty solid. But I mean, I think Yu-Gi-Oh is pretty iconic here, right?
Yu-Gi-Oh is very iconic because, like I said, the card game is still popular. So you know it's.
And still growing from what I know of.
Yes, it is
Yeah.
still growing somehow, some way. Thank God.
That one I'm not sure about. At least out here, anyways. I don't know.
I think
Overall, I couldn't say.
I think it's doing. I actually watched a video about this, but I think it's doing pretty solid.
That's good then. I was worried because honestly, out here, Vanguard seems to be the more
Yeah.
popular card game, and I was wondering what's kind of going on with Yu-Gi-Oh.
I mean, when Yu-Gi-Oh, like a lot of the Yu-Gi-Oh thing I based it off of was when we were in college. A lot of people played Yu-Gi-Oh because one guy mentioned that a new structure deck was coming out, and then that like re-incited my like love for it. And then we started like the problem is like originally you start off like you don't really care about the rules, but then when other people play with like the ban list, then you have to play with the ban list,
Yeah.
and then it gets really out of control.
I was honestly with Yu-Gi-Oh. I mean, I really loved the game. It's a lot of fun. It's really expensive to remain competitive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So that's the main reason why I stopped playing. Like if Yu-Gi-Oh wasn't as expensive as it was, I'd probably still be playing.
And one of the things too that I stopped playing for a long time, which I put money into when I was younger. When I grew up, he saw my debt when I played. And I wanted to. Oh yeah, back then it would be a deadly debt in old school wise, but now it kind of.
It just has a lot of battle traps.
Yeah,
That's a big thing.
Like for me, I was playing Gravekeepers for the most part. I mean, I did all right here, but it's like I did actually I didn't like top, but I was top 4 a couple times in tournaments out
That's
here.
not top.
With Gravekeepers. I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was just like. It's so it's so frustrating every time a new series came out.
Yeah.
It's like now I got to change my entire deck, my
Yeah.
entire side deck,
Yeah.
and it's like oh my god.
Honestly, I think you should have just switched to your Senju. because Necro Valley is a really strong field spell.
It is, yeah. That's what. And the thing is that Gravekeeper, at least especially when I first started playing, nobody else out here was playing Gravekeeper, so everyone didn't really know how to play against Gravekeeper. So that was the fun thing. But once people caught on, and then it got a lot harder. Then I said, I had to change so much, and I kept spending money, and like
But I mean, like the way I feel about it is, it's okay to me as long as you get mileage out of it.
Oh yeah, it was like I said. Honestly, I probably should still be playing just because, like I said, I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
And tournaments aren't too important because I have to work during most tournaments now
Yeah.
anyway. So it's like,
I think it's a little, like, I mean, because everybody's like, afraid of Pepe, but it's like this it's Pendulum, Performer Pals, and Perform Mages like Pepe, but like, there's nothing stopping you from just like getting two friends together, playing like whatever.
Yeah, that's fun,
want.
yeah.
But yeah, back to anime.
Yeah.
I don't even remember where we were like when we started talking about
the initial thing that started this whole thing was dubs. Dubs versus subs.
I mean, damn, we got like really
we got really
far there. With the dub and the subs argument, like I feel like again, like I was more of a dub guy because a lot of it has to be like I have to be able to like actually do other things.
Yeah, I get you.
Like, because that's the only way I can keep up. Because that's how I keep up with like TV shows. Like, because I realize I can't just sit down and like watch like a lot of it, especially if, like it's a lot of like the biggest problem I have with subs is like if I miss like if it goes too fast, like the subtitles are too fast, then I miss that, and then I have to rewind it, and then it's like what did they say? And a lot of times it wasn't even that important. It's like annoying. Like,
I get that.
I didn't really watch subs until I joined the club. I watch dubs all the time.
Yeah.
And I think, watching Japanese, they add to read now.
Yeah.
And so it forced me to start watching it. So
I honestly, I was sort of the same way. I mean, I'd been a dub person, and then I started watching subs because everyone seemed to like really be like, "Why are you watching this in English?" It was like one of those things where I was kind of being, I guess, made fun of or being told I was inferior for watching.
Which caused another dividing.
It was another divisive issue within the group. Was that
back to the original subject?
Yeah, it was another one of those things. So I just started watching it sub, and another reason why I started watching it subbed was because I took 3 years of Japanese in high school, and then I took one of my friends from the anime club needed a couple more people for the Japanese 4 class in college. It was going to get canceled if they didn't get extra people.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Come on, he was like, take the placement test. You'll get placed into the test if you really do know the stuff." I got placed into Japanese 4.
Yeah.
And then as practice, he was like, "You should watch it subbed and raw. Watch it with no subs." So I got
you have to explain what raw is.
Yeah,
raw is a
raw Japanese. Or if you're watching anime, or not just anime, but like
if you're watching anything you don't know.
Yeah, anything that's in a different language with no subtitles, that's considered watching it raw. So that's what they used to have. That was one of the ways we used to practice Japanese, was that we'd watch it raw, and then after we watched it raw, we'd watch it in subs to see how close we were.
Yeah, I mean, like I think the problem is it's like, it's not in its perfect thing. That's like if you don't understand Japanese anyway, it's already not in its perfect thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But the other bigger thing is that like honestly, it doesn't. I don't think it changes much.
It really depends on
like there's colloquialism, sure.
The dub group I think is really important because like I said, if you go from so the biggest ones are like I said, if they're on a child channel like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff, then it's gonna be changed a lot.
Yeah.
But if you're watching something that's on like Toonami or something, then there's a good chance that it's, I'd say probably at least 80% of what it's supposed to be, because there's certain things in Japanese that you just can't translate.
Well, I mean that's just true with a lot of things.
Yeah,
it's like if we
any language, honestly.
Yeah, because it's colloquialism.
Yeah, exactly. You just can't translate certain things, so some things become a little weird.
Yeah, I mean like that's the biggest like thing about it too. But the other thing, I mean I don't mean it more like it's like you can't necessarily get like the full enjoyment. I mean like like okay, so it's like okay,
I was just saying story wise and like plot wise. I think it's probably about 80 to 85% of what it should be when you when you translate it to English.
Right. I mean, I don't think there's a right way, and I don't think there's a wrong way.
I don't think so either, honestly. I'm sometimes, like you said, when I'm doing other things,
Yeah.
I'll watch it in English because I don't feel like having to pay attention
Yeah.
as much. And sometimes I just want some background, something to keep me.
I mean, also, like, I think the other thing for me is because I do know, like, of the voice actors and actresses
That too.
in America, so it's like you kind of follow them. Like, Steve Blum is, like, in everything.
I heart Laura
Yeah.
Bailey.
Yeah.
Laura Bailey, if you ever watch this, I love you.
But one of the
Shout out.
things that you realize, some of them, like what they done to, I follow one voice actress now due to the fact that I chance to talk to her a little bit until I saw from videos.
Yeah.
I don't watch that keep track of the original voice actress who did Uyoko from Tenchimunya, Patricia Burma. So the idea is see how much career evolved based on having a chance to do some of the other dubs are the crazy to see how much time have passed since.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, like, they did, the original Akira, I don't even know who was in the original
I don't
Akira.
either. I
But,
can't
like,
tell you
in the new one, it was way more updated because they had, like, Johnny Bosch.
Johnny Bosch is in freaking everything, though.
But, yeah, they had Johnny Bosch. I don't remember who actually played Tetsuo.
I don't know. I haven't watched the new one. The new dub.
Akira's so good. But, I'll watch it anyways. But
I've only seen the original dub, so I don't know if the new.
Johnny Bosch is the guy with the, what's his name? The main character.
Fuck. I haven't watched
Hey,
that.
hey, hey. Anyways, but yeah, I think there's like a few other big names in that, but like it's crazy because it's like if you were gonna redub old things, like if they got like the old DBZ and just got new people to redub it.
I mean, they sort of already did
they
that.
are doing that
Get
with
them-
Sailor Moon right now.
But that's like, but
They're remastering it and redubbing it.
Yeah, they did.
Really?
Yeah, we whole new cast.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I got an opportunity to see the debut of it,
Yeah.
the first couple episodes when we did it.
Oh,
Most of the voices, I think they had hit spot on.
Oh.
Some I think they had improved. Only one voice I didn't think there was. The whole mentality of nostalgia. Like when you saw
Nostalgia.
yeah.
yes.
I got to see the original Sailor Moon in English
Yeah.
when I saw it. Right? So when I saw the remastered version and the new whole cast, right? You had that mindset already what you so used to seeing in English.
Mm.
And I had to give the media a props for doing a great job being able to get most of it on spot.
Mhm.
But there always that one thing that I know you to remaster.
Yeah.
I was not a fan of the new voice for Luna, the cat.
Is that the only one?
The only one I'm weird on.
Okay, who do you think did a better job?
The original one for
No, I meant,
Tuxedo Mask. I think
So
they did a better job for Tuxedo Mask.
okay, so the most important question is how is Sailor Mercury?
In my opinion,
Oh,
I think just like good.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
I haven't heard the new dub yet, but I mean it's one of those things where I'd want to go into it with an open mind because, like I said, honestly, in my opinion, a lot of the older dubs, they're not as good as we remember.
No,
They're not.
no,
I would watch Rurouni Kenshin was one of my favorite animes. I watched the dub and I was like, this is.
There's something wrong.
Yeah, I was like, there is something wrong. And then I watched it in Japanese. I was like, this sounds different than what I remember, but it feels more right to me.
The older anime dub had hold up like Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop, yeah.
Steve Blue, shut up.
Steve Blue.
Yeah, it's been what, 15 years it was done?
A long
Is
time.
that true?
It's been about
You're
15
making me
years.
feel old.
I feel young. What are you talking
About 15 years.
'Cause I remember Cowboy Bebop was on Adult Swim, right?
Yeah.
Not actually, because remember, back in
Toonami
the day, there's Toonami and
And
Adult
Adult
Swim.
Swim. Adult Swim hosts the more mature
Adult,
anime.
yeah.
They had that.
They had
They had the unedited version of Yu Yu Hakusho.
They had.
Yeah, you don't see that often anymore.
Did they also have Ghost in the Shell?
Ghost in the Shell, Case Closed, but also known as Detective Conan.
Yeah, Case Closed was one. I'm
God,
trying to remember what
Case
the
Closed.
I woke up at 2 you only showing a
Don't
tiny
remind
bit of
me.
me.
Don't remind me of Case Closed.
No, dude. Okay.
I love the dub.
Well, the problem I have with the dub is that when I was a kid, I didn't know any better. It was good, but when I got older, I realized how different the dub of Detective Conan is. And it's exactly like Aaron was saying too. Is that there's just jokes and stuff that some of the clues for the cases and stuff only make sense in Japanese. Like there's literally no way to transfer that some of the cultural references to America. So it is so different, and I'm like, I didn't know this until someone else pointed it out to me, and then I was just like,
that's tough, man.
and then it just ruined the whole case. It ruined case closed for me because I was like, you know what? You're right. This just makes no sense to me at all. This is just so weird, and my childhood, I was I got hit right into childhood.
Well, I understand that. I realize it, but the thing I love it too much. I say screw it. I love it, and I'm not still watching.
Hit me in the
Stick
childhood.
with you.
I bought the box set for a reason. Is to watch it in dub.
Okay, but
Hit me in the childhood.
man, dang it, man. What was I gonna say? No, because like I remember, like I was gonna say this, but I remember one time when I was a kid, I really loved watching Inuyasha, and like I used to like it was on so late. I think it was on that midnight. It was the midnight one.
Yeah.
So at 10 o'clock. This is like a nostalgia trip, but at 10 o'clock on weekdays,
You're supposed to be
you
asleep.
get Futurama. Oh yeah, I was definitely supposed to be asleep, but you get Futurama, and then I think you get maybe Family Guy and one other thing, or maybe two other things. And then once it hit like midnight, I think it was only anime.
Yeah.
And the best part was like I had a TV in my room, and I used to like get my pillow, because you remember this is back in the day with the big fat TVs that when you turn them on they made noise.
They're like, you're.
They're like, and they would always make noise even if you were like just watching it. So I used to like run up to it, put my pillow like over the cover, press the button, and like hug it, like to basically just be like,
Stay quiet.
yeah, exactly. And then it turns on, and I'm like, okay, I gotta grab the controller, mute it, mute it, so nobody is saying anything. Then back up, right? So my bed was like maybe right here, like right here, and like the TV was like right here, and I had the like I would like sleep. Or
Yeah.
rather, I would watch with my head by the feet of the bed. Just in case, if I heard my parents walking, I would turn it off immediately and pretend to be sleeping. And I never got caught. I only got caught like once. The only
so
time
bad.
I got caught was I got caught watching Aqua Teen Hunger Force because I was sitting in a chair instead of like doing what I usually do. And my mom was like, why are you awake? I was just like, I couldn't sleep. I lied. But, I did that one time. And my favorite thing was one time Inuyasha was on. I was like, yes, dude. Absolutely. I remember this is the one where he fought the moth guy. It might have been the second moth guy. It's when he went, he did like the demon mode kind of like for maybe the second time because I think Tatsuga had an issue. But, what ended up happening was I had fell asleep. I woke up at like 1 o'clock and I was like, oh my god, I missed Inuyasha. You're a kid, you don't know any better. You're like, is this ever gonna come on again? No, it's not. And I knew it had a rotation. So I was like, I'm gonna watch the entire rotation. And I did. I watched the entire rotation that night. So I got through I don't think Cowboy Bebop was on, but I know Lupin the Third was on.
Lupin
The Third was on that. I stayed to watch all of that. I think Big O was on. Shout out to Big O.
on that. But that one thing I think I had different. I grew up in SoCal,
Yeah.
and then for some reason we didn't get the Western time. We got Eastern time.
Did you have DirecTV? Or
Yes, I grew up with DirecTV.
I grew up with cable.
No, so
I grew up with cable, too.
so when all the shows that be on at midnight, I'd be watching at night.
Exactly.
So I never had to stay up late. I say, I had to wake up. I had to go to bed by 10. I could watch Inuyasha.
Dude, you were like I remember when we were kids. Those were like the kids I hated because they're like, oh, I got it, and I'm like, well, I got cable, man. Like, what am I gonna do?
I didn't know that was a DirecTV thing. Honestly, until you mentioned
it. It's a satellite thing.
It's a satellite.
No, I didn't know that.
Actually, I don't know if Dish is like that. I know DirecTV for sure because I have it now.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until you mentioned it 2 weeks ago about Wall.
Yeah.
I saw it. The other thing, DirecTV thing, a satellite thing. I did not know that. I thought it was a normal thing that we had cable satellite. You watch it earlier.
Definitely not.
I did not realize that.
Actually, a cool thing was if you had cable a little while ago, if you watched it in HD, it would be the for Cartoon Network specifically, it would be the Eastern one.
That's kind of cool.
So like I could watch like Bob's Burgers and like King of the Hill and all
That's
that
very
stuff during dinner.
For me, it's kind of cool with DirecTV too. Is that on some of the channels you get both. You get the West and the East.
Mhm.
Cartoon Network I know for sure is one. I think Nickelodeon. There's a
Yeah,
couple other.
Nickelodeon.
There's a couple others that you get East and West channels, and it really helps.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, and again, I mean, if I was a kid who could watch Inuyasha at 9 o'clock, I would have been way better off. But, I mean, I ended up just actually buying a lot of the manga. Like, I bought so much manga. I still need to finish it. I have a big, like freaking thing where it's, like, this big row of it. I stopped at, I don't even remember when I stopped, because I actually was keeping up, like, when they were coming out. But that was also when I was, like, in high school. Maybe middle school, so that was so long ago.
Alright.
But yeah, no, totally loved Inuyasha.
Inuyasha is great.
Was willing to get in trouble out of 10.
It was good.
It's worth it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, but that was definitely one of the. Oh, Trigun. Trigun might have been on.
Oh, Trigun too, yeah.
I never done want to try them on that.
Trigun is good.
I know it was good.
You should watch Trigun.
We need to get you Trigun.
Trigun is really
My portable hard drive is broken right now, so.
Well,
it's not broken.
You
but
should.
The case, the actual port is messed
You
up.
should watch Trigun. Trigun. I think Trigun's pretty cheap right now.
It is.
I'll probably get that eventually.
And before you think I'm pirating, I have digitally purchased versions of Trigun. Okay.
How much was that?
I think like $29.99.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That another thing I need to change to pricing anime.
Yeah.
It's so expensive.
It was way expensive when we were younger.
Dude, it was so much expensive when we were young. Dude, I remember the first season, and this is it's probably always gonna lead to Inuyasha. First season of Inuyasha was like $90, and I don't even remember how many episodes that was. I think that was from. Because I don't know what you would consider the first arc.
I think it was separated by 26.
That's even worse.
Yeah, I know that was. It was so bad.
Actually, do you know? Did Kikyo, spoiler alert, was Kikyo revived by then?
That technically I didn't see it. No, wait, the first time, yes.
The first
I don't even know what the seasons are anymore.
Okay, so like I think we're probably gonna end up spending a little time on this. We're trying to figure out the arcs here.
I don't remember a lot, to be honest.
Because the thing is, the arcs weren't as obvious until later. Like, remember when they brought back those I think they were supposed to be based on the Seven Samurai.
Yeah.
That was clearly an arc.
Yeah.
But when we were kids, you could tell. But like with Inuyasha, it's really hard to tell because it's like when he learns Backlash Wave.
Now, when that technically off?
That wasn't an arc. That was like 2 episodes. But the question is what season was that? Because that was a huge deal. Because he had finally learned how to do Windscar on. Yeah, man, we're totally getting into this.
Yeah.
He totally learned how to do Windscar on command at that point. Because he learned Backlash Wave. Because he beat that giant dragon. I forgot the dragon's name, but he was awesome. That was such a great episode. Man, when that came out, dude, I was like marking out when that came out, dude. That was so good.
Okay.
But yeah, I think maybe when Naraku's origin, that might be second or third season.
Okay.
It might be. It was really hard. The only one that was specifically pointed out to find it off.
Yes.
Because it was called Inuyasha find it off.
Because the original series ended with like a super cliffhanger. Because the series, because that's the thing. When we were younger, I didn't get that mangas had endings that animes did not. So I thought they were both I assumed they both went hand in hand.
That's one of the still thing that bothers me so much is sometimes it's like I'm watching an anime, it's like this anime is great, and then it's like, well, unfortunately this didn't get picked up for the next season, or this didn't do that.
But did the manga finish it?
Yes.
Yeah.
But at least you had to finish, because like for me,
it wasn't until college that I realized that I could go get manga.
Yeah. Same thing. Because I was in the exact same route. Because when Inuyasha ended, I think we were
young. So.
We were pretty young.
The original one, right?
I don't even think, were we still in high school?
And we were probably in high school.
And when that ended, that was a big deal because I'm like,
That's it.
Like, because like spoiler alert, it basically ends with them saying, well, we're gonna stop Naraku's like heart, which is the baby, and we're gonna kill it, right? But they never get to that part. They didn't even beat regular Naraku yet. That was the part that like made me mad, because it's like he wasn't done yet. And then like, oh, we're gonna do it. It's like Halo 2. We're gonna finish the fight, and then there was no Halo 3. There was no Inuyasha like final act until maybe like
4 years later.
Oh, long. I think it
oh,
was longer
it
than
seemed
that.
long.
we were in college.
We were in
Like, I
college.
think we were about to leave. No,
No,
There
mid
was like
college.
30.
mid college.
Yeah,
It's about what,
yeah.
7 years?
Yeah, because I remember the voice actress for, I think Sango was the one who announced that they were doing it, but I think the voice actress for Kagome didn't come back. That was the only difference. I don't know.
I don't know.
Really, one of the main.
Spoiler alert, I never watched Final Act.
I haven't watched it yet. to be honest.
I haven't gotten to the end of Final Act yet. So
I thought
there's
one
no
episode.
There's no spoiler alert.
Okay.
If the spoiler was it happened, then,
It happened.
then
Then we
that's
knew
pretty
that.
tough. Yeah. Like,
We knew that one.
but yeah, no, because back to Yu-Gi-Oh, my Valentine's voice actress
Change.
changed.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it wasn't Tata, so like it wasn't.
It wasn't really
It
the
wasn't a
main.
huge person,
Yeah.
like the main female. But yeah, I think Kagome was the only one that didn't come back. They got everybody else.
Okay.
But we were talking about box sets, right?
Box sets.
Box
Box
sets,
sets, right.
they were tough.
Every
No,
time.
so now let me I'm a collector of boxes. If I could, I buy the
Yeah.
series. And the one thing I realized that series back then, I didn't buy a lot when I was a kid. It was like $98. I'm not gonna spend that one. I could get other stuff as a kid.
Yeah.
But when I got order, it got cheaper. I said, I remember this being like $90, like
Yes.
$25 now.
Now it's probably. I mean, it depends. Like I have the collector's edition set for Kimi ni Todoke. I have
Yeah.
for the first season. I have both sets for the first season. I think I paid $70 for each one. That's only. I think it's 13 episodes each set for the first season, so it's 26 episodes total. I paid $140. But then something like the regular anime, I think is probably like between probably $40 and $60 per season.
I think it depends. I don't really
Actually, that's mine are on Blu-ray, so that's why they're so expensive.
Oh.
No,
Yeah.
even some of the Blu-ray boxes I got were cheaper than I thought it would be.
But I mean, don't you usually buy on like Black Friday and stuff like that?
No, not Black Friday.
Really? Okay.
Where do you buy them at?
Those some I do use a sale, but not Black Friday. The 25-day stripping sale that White Stuff uses. They basically have sales for the whole month, and everything get cut down. Like one time I bought the whole set of China, 52 episodes I think combined. Cost me about $30.
That's pretty good.
And I say it was all very cheap deal, but like back then I wanted to buy Neon, the platinum edition of Neon Genesis.
Yeah.
Back in the day, that was like $120, $130.
Honestly, that's still cheap in comparison to like really long
Yeah,
animes.
it was 26 episodes.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now,
that's the crazy part about Ava is that it's like so, it's a good
Yeah.
length.
Yeah, so but I found it for $28.
Wow.
Yeah, I at a Best
That's actually
Buy.
pretty good.
At
That's,
freaking-
honestly, some of the stuff is pretty cheap now.
Yeah.
But
So I think the newer stuff is more expensive. So when I try to buy stuff still, I see some of the new anime, like they're doing the Blu-ray DVD combo thing becoming a norm by the look of it. Yeah,
no
so
for everything.
becoming a norm. Like, you say, oh, I like that, but $65. I not spend $65 for a 12-episode series. I could buy this instead, which is a 45 episode, and spend half the price.
I mean, it's kind of nice having the both Blu-ray and DVD, but that is getting a little annoying. 'Cause
And then,
I wanted to buy the Sailor Moon set, and that was that's what stopped me. Is it's a Blu-ray DVD combo pack, and
Wait.
it's expensive as hell.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually collecting them one by one. So yeah, I tell you, really, the collect editions and the first half of the series are only Blu-ray DVD combo, but the second half you can find it on DVD.
Yeah.
But they forcing you to buy the Blu-ray combo pack at one point.
Yeah, because you can't have like half of it be a combo pack. And the other
You
half.
can't. You can't do that.
I mean, legitimately, you could.
No,
Part of you would.
that's not how this works.
No,
that's not how the world works.
Let me explain.
You just love chaos, don't you?
Let me explain it. It's part of the obsession that you're like,
No,
I need it.
if I have to get, it has to be. If I get one the Blu-ray combo pack, it has to be. They both have to be.
It would look wrong on your collection. I totally understand.
As a kid, I was very appreciative of this gift of the Return of the King, Lord of the Rings DVD. But I had the first two as widescreen, and then the person that bought me this one bought it full screen, and I was dying inside as a kid. And I was like, "Thank you for this gift, and I will appreciate it forever." But my heart is dying. This is not right.
One of the theaters, I found out when I went to a convention during the summer that they now set Sailor on box it and say, "Oh, but it does come out in 2 weeks, but we do have it on the floor tonight. Today you could buy it." And I said, "It only Blu-ray combo pack." I said, "No, don't do the single audio. I know how you are. How you over the full box set. That I know I won't like for it."
Yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah, I'm going to say a guy by Sailor Moon, and I love it.
Sailor Moon is amazing. I need to go buy that actually. I'll buy it next week. I'm gonna buy the whole set.
And we're releasing the Sailor Moon Crystal too.
Oh my god, I can't wait
Okay, how do you feel about Crystal? Because I hear a lot of people don't really like Crystal.
The part that annoyed me. People complain about the art style.
Yes.
Is that an issue you heard about?
For me, the art style is no big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as the way it goes by today's standards, it's a little different because not too many people like it. I mean, especially the proportions of the girls. But if you're going straight by the manga, it's almost dead on what the manga looks like.
It almost directly tied to how the manga storyline going, which that only downside that people complain about the original series. That way close to the manga. We don't get the manga now, and people are still complaining.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, so this is what I heard was like the big thing. It was like the proportions, like, okay, so like when I hear arguments about proportion, it's usually like, kind of risque issues. But like I heard like the proportions were like unrealistic, like
they're really unrealistic.
Like for whatever reason, I guess midsections are like super stretched out or something.
If it was any other anime, I probably would have complained about that. It's just the only reason I don't have an issue with it is because, like I said, it looks. I have the manga actually on my Kindle right there, and I can show you the manga. It looks just like the manga, and it's like the proportions are stupid and kind of ugly, but I'm not going to complain when it's like just like the source material.
Yeah, okay.
Don't buy the source, and at the same time, I see a lot of anime that have very upsell proportion.
Yeah.
But to me, it's no big deal if they get the main point of call. Like the story is good, like they did everything else.
Not the point of the
not the point. But if everything else is terrible, then you could complain about it.
No, but I mean, yeah, because the thing I was because I haven't watched Crystal Spoilers.
You should watch it.
I have so many things.
That should be on top of the list.
You know what? Okay, actually, this is one thing I would be interested in is that I need maybe like a list of things should watch, and then we could talk about. Apparently, every anime has to be involved with something I watched as a kid, so probably Digimon.
Digimon.
Whenever Fooly Cooly comes out, I'm going hashtag full weeb mode.
Okay.
Hashtag full weeb mode.
All right. With
have you seen the new Digimon?
Not yet, but I know how the way the new Digimon is, though, it's going to annoy you because being released, it's supposed to be 4 episodes is what they announced. But what they did instead of that is they're making it 4 episode parts that are going to be that are released. That's such a separate, huge time.
I can wait though. I can wait because.
But to the next part come out in March.
I heard the next parts are.
Yeah, I saw the first 4 away, which they fucking Crunchyroll teased me when they said, "Oh, it's coming out in a week, right?" And then I said, "Wait a minute, it's done." I said, and now it's in March now. You make me wait. I could wait, but don't tease me like that.
Hey, look, man. Hey, look. I'm going to bring up the fact that I love Gravity Falls, and the series finale of Gravity Falls will not come out until next year, even though...
The series finale?
Yes, the series. Only 2 seasons. Spoilers! 2 seasons.
Wow.
The series finale, because the parts before it came out this year, series finale, which is only 1 episode, it's 1 hour-long episode, will come out.
What, that's the last episode?
Yes.
Nothing until then?
Spoilers, I've never seen this show.
There's probably not going to be... There might be like... they were talking about a Rick and Morty crossover.
What?
Well, I think they're the same universe.
Yes. They're talking about well, not the same universe, because in Rick and Morty there are multiple universes. But in one of the universes there's access to...
Now I meant.
But canonically, they are tied together. Yeah. But, I don't know how this turned into a cartoon talk, but...
Well,
yeah, but, what I was trying to say was, what was I
We
trying
have
to
a
say?
wide variety of interest. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. But definitely, whenever Fully Cooley comes out, the remake, I'm gonna 6 episodes of last one.
Hi, Chica.
She's actually in the frame at one point.
She was.
Yeah, she was. But yeah, yeah. So like, what was I gonna say?
You're talking about FLCL.
Fully Cooley, so good. But yeah, 6 episodes of nutty awesomeness.
It was
I'm,
awesome.
I'm not surprised you tapped the doll.
Oh yeah,
Then when you gave me the stuff.
I bought it. I bought it for myself.
that one
That
you
was
did.
mine.
You bought it?
I bought it at an anime convention in Northern California.
Cough, cough.
Cough, cough.
Oh wow! If that's the case, I'd love to see when I'd love to see the BSM I saw in the anime convention in SoCal. Cough, cough.
Rolling my eyes.
All three of us have anime conventions in our. In
Oh
our
yeah!
Yeah,
I forgot there was one here.
Yeah. All three of us have one around us.
yeah, but totally. No, but yeah, I got the little plush at Fanime, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, so like we're naming these anime conventions now?
I mean, does it matter to you?
I don't care.
No.
You're the one you started the whole
So-
anime convention in Northern Cal.
I mean, it doesn't really matter because I mean, Fanime is pretty big, honestly.
anime is life.
Let's be honest. What anime convention would they do the premiere of the new Sailor Moon dub? Don't-
Clearly,
In SoCal.
Anime
Expo.
Expo.
Obviously, Anime LA.
Is that really a thing?
That is the thing.
I've never been.
It usually around Christmas time in Alcoa.
Is it? I don't know. I
Yeah, it's
haven't
usually
been.
around this time in
Really?
Alcoa. Oh, November.
Okay.
I want to know too.
Yeah,
It was a
ALA.
holiday if I'm correct.
I know.
So now we're
Shout
not
out to all the
gonna talk about it so
anime conventions in California. We love you. We love all of you. We may argue about which one of you is better, but we all love you.
much.
Hey. Dustin.
Right.
But we
see
do
that,
love
right?
you.
I think one of them is better than the other ones. We'll just leave it at
We'll
that.
leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that for now. Yeah, but I mean, like, yeah, because I got that at Fanime, and so it's mine. It does not belong to anybody else. It's mine.
You can donate it.
You can donate it to us, yeah.
I'm not going to donate it because it's mine, and I love Fully Cooley too. Fully Cooley, like, I got broken up as a kid because it was another one that was on Adult Swim, and I think it got to like maybe the 3rd episode, and then I had to leave the country. So I didn't even see the ending to that anime until college.
Really?
I was a kid when it was on Adult Swim. Like,
That's so bad.
this
That's
is
college.
I'm gonna put it in this way. This is how far ago it was. Is Adult Swim video basically had just been a thing on
That's
the
so
internet
bad.
at that point.
Man.
And this is how I remember it. Adult Swim video used to be like a Friday night only thing. That's how long ago this was.
Honestly, when I was watching Fully Cooley, I did not realize it was only 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Until I watched the whole rotation, try to.
Yeah.
No, it's only 6 episodes.
Yeah.
But at the time, more animes were really long.
Yeah.
That era.
Yeah.
And so when I saw it, it was 6.
It's only 6.
Then I want more.
Actually, I think there is more. I don't know if there's a manga or something.
I don't know,
attached to it,
honestly.
But I think there might be more, and hopefully in the remake there might be more. But I don't. Even if it's only 6.
You'd be happy with it.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
don't-
it's great 6.
I didn't see it until college at all.
Really?
I didn't see any of it until college.
Dude,
You gotta remember with me, I mean, as a kid, I watched a lot of just the same anime that we
Yeah.
all watched. But then I didn't really start getting into anime until my senior year in high
Yeah.
school.
But did you not stay up for the late night stuff?
I'm in some of it, yeah, but I wasn't always.
I understand, because one time, I think it was Saturday night, I fell asleep, and I woke up to, I think it might have been Ghost in the Shell, and I was so lost that I just turned on the TV.
That one is
We had a
that one
joke.
is the longest one, isn't there? There's so many different series.
Yeah, there's
a lot. And then
Ghost in the Shell,
there's
the movie
coming
was
out.
the first
There's a
one.
movie coming out here.
Actually, the
Oh, the live action?
Yeah.
The movie was first, I think, right?
The which one?
The original movie.
The film in the 80s?
Yeah, the 80s one.
Yeah,
'Cause that was
80s one,
that was a landmark in anime.
That anime. Then they made another one in the 90s, another movie in the 90s.
But I mean,
Then the series.
Standalone Complex, I think, was that the first series or?
I think that was the second.
Okay.
No, the second company one, right? Second.
I don't know.
Ghost
I
in
know
the Shell
Standalone
something.
Complex was a big deal.
There was so many
It
of
was.
them that they all connected, right?
Yeah, I think.
But you had to mention where the starting point was.
Yeah.
And then they released 4 movies
Yeah.
that connect to each other. Ghost in the Shell areas or Oz.
I have no idea.
They're on Netflix. They're all 4 part on
I
Netflix.
I haven't actually. I haven't watched.
I haven't
Ghost in the
seen
Shell
it,
in a long
but
time.
If I'm correct, they did bring the original actress back
Okay, I mean.
to play a different role, though, if I'm
See,
correct.
the problem with Ghost in the Shell was like we had a joke about this. It's like if you turned your head for like 1 split second, you turn around, and then
It'd be different.
you'd be completely.
You know what? The
lost.
sad part is that kind of true. If you miss a little bit of it, you
Yeah.
have no idea what's going on.
Oh no, dude! Like the worst part is like if you miss one episode, you were like, it was done. Like especially when you're a kid, so you're like you can't watch it any other way. You're done. It's over.
Thank God for the internet.
Also, thank God for like box set collections because I remember being a kid buying like freaking 3-episode Pokemon cassette.
Oh my God, I used to do that with Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball.
How-
And it used to bother me so much because I could never complete the picture on the
Right?
side.
Yeah. No, dude, my favorite thing about the Pokemon ones is because they all had like number one, they had the whole full Pokérap, and number two, they had ads for like animes like Ranma One Half,
Yeah.
Kimba. They had one for like
God.
some like artist one that I never saw to this day. I do not remember its name. Like if I could find Pokemon cassette, put it in a cassette,
I miss,
a VCR, not cassette.
I miss those
a
things.
VCR and just watch it. But yeah.
I have the DVDs are supposed to be here somewhere for the original Pokemon series, the whole first series,
Really?
and Orange Island. It should be in one of those boxes, but I don't know where they are.
Actually, it's on Netflix.
Is it?
Only, yeah.
Maybe like 2 seasons or
2
so.
seasons, yeah.
Oh my
That's
God.
why I was watching another anime yesterday now, Pokemon.
Huh?
I was debating to watch Pokemon, but I decided not to.
So the problem with Pokemon is that like, for me is like I don't know if I'd get that same feeling.
I don't
I
understand.
don't.
Ash haven't aged yet.
No, he hasn't. I think the biggest problem with Ash not aging is that Ash like theoretically should be getting better at this, but at one point he got bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like Black and White. Because Black and White was the setup where it felt like it should have just been logically a different person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other one that when he level 100 Pikachu lose to like level 1 Pokemon.
I mean, Pikachu always loses to random Pokemon. Because like Pikachu is inconsistent because it's like each region kind of restarts it. Because Orange Island, I think, is the only one that's basically like connected to the point where, well,
They're all
Battle
connected.
Frontier.
Yeah, it was
also-
another one of the things like the championship that he only won 1,
Orange
but
Island.
but then he made it the semifinal in almost every one
No.
except for 2.
No,
No,
I know the first one he made the semifinal.
no, he did not.
No, he made the final.
He made it to the second round.
The
Bro.
yeah.
I don't-
He loses a lot.
He beat.
I
No.
know-
Okay, so the way it worked was it was like pools. So you had your pool. So he got he got
No, I-
he got out of his
He
pools.
got his pull. I made
and
it
then
to
he
the
played.
the-
I think, or he played. I'm thinking about this like it's the tournament,
Yeah.
like a 5-game tournament. But
Yeah.
he made it out of pools, and then he
took on that his
took
friend.
on. He wasn't his friend yet.
No, that had the
that
other
other
Pikachu.
Pikachu. Yeah.
Were they friends already?
They weren't friends yet.
No, but they knew each other.
But what was his name?
I don't remember.
No,
It's been
Ricky?
years. It's been years.
it might be Ricky.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
It's
But
been
yeah.
years since I watched.
Because he was the one who actually named all his Pokemon. They all had names.
And
That's
then
how you're
he-
supposed to be, man.
I don't name my Pokemon.
Oh,
But
Do you name your Pokemon?
Yeah.
I didn't. I never named my Pokemon.
the only one where I had the original Yao, the only one I did not name was Pikachu. Because it was Pikachu.
I did not name a single one of my Pokemon. I'm sorry.
Aaron though.
Apparently, I have offended you.
You can
Yeah,
name
you-
your Pokemon Aaron
I
or
could-
Shathid.
I think
That
my-
was part of the-
I don't know. I need my.
You're trying to get us in trouble.
One shot hit.
When I tried to play when I played the newer Pokemon, I named them out of food.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I named my Venusaur named Graham.
Huh.
See?
Yeah, like Graham Cat, but Graham Cat only fit.
But okay, but this is the thing. This is weird.
You get
okay.
attached to your Pokemon.
No, but the weird part for me was I named the when you played the Pokemon game, the Rescue whatever,
The rescue.
the Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah, Mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you played that, I named everybody, and I mean every single Pokemon.
But
So, like,
aren't you? Those are a little different. Those aren't.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that like one is right or one is wrong.
I
I'm just
know.
saying that's how I did it.
Okay.
Like, maybe I'm the weirdo. I don't know. I mean,
I feel like you are.
people should. I don't know. Maybe
People
they-
chime in.
People should like tweet at us or something. Like, tell me. if
I'm
a weirdo.
putting this on YouTube after, so I'll link
Maybe.
our down there. You'll see links to our Twitter and
I mean, can we just
whatnot.
say it?
What?
Do you want to say your Twitter?
I don't remember my Twitter name.
I remember my Twitter. Do you
Jesus Ramirez 358.
I am AA Landline. That's AALANLINE.
And I don't remember mine, honestly. I
We'll,
ain't using the weather.
we'll write yours in the description thing down
Maybe
there.
we'll get him a new Twitter. But
We'll make him a
I
new
do
Twitter.
have one.
But if you wanna make a hashtag Aaron is a weirdo.
That's AA Ron.
Is a weirdo. Because he doesn't name his Pokemon. Apparently, that's a thing. But anyways, I mean, I just never did it. Maybe I'm in the wrong. Maybe I want to know if I'm in the wrong.
I'll say this stuff, but as far as me, I only named Pokemon I kept in my party.
Ooh,
Like if they,
that's interesting.
yeah, if I was keeping a Pokemon on my party, or if I caught it and I knew it was coming into my party after, I would name it. But if I knew if it was just gonna be a random Pokemon stuck in a box, it didn't get a name.
That's interesting.
I'm the same way.
I was actually really bad about being Pokemon because I would only train one Pokemon, which got me in a lot of trouble because if that Pokemon
Don't know.
everybody else was in such a giant level gap that I was done.
Do you still do that, or is that
Hell no, dude.
Okay.
I am so crazy. I will grind to I think okay, so in what is it? Which one is Hydreigon in?
Which one?
Hydreigon, the three-headed dragon.
I
He's dark and is that that's either Diamond and Pearl or Black and White. It's one of them.
think it's Diamond and Pearl.
And then
Yeah, but like I grinded so like in the Victory Road right before it, you get the base form of it.
Yeah.
I caught one. I grinded it so much to the point where it became a Hydreigon, right? Because I knew the gym lead,
League 4?
the champion had a Hydreigon. Only so I could say the following phrase: "You call that a Hydreigon? This is a Hydreigon." And then I just throw the Hydreigon out, and it's like I wasn't around anybody. Like I told people, they thought I was crazy, but like it's like this one of those things where it's like that's how into it I got. I was like, I'm not just gonna win. I will crush the CPU. I will crush them.
and one other thing too, that when you buy people, if their name, they have no idea what it is.
Like, oh, okay.
But,
Oh, you mean like other real people?
like, I didn't tell them that I had a Pokemon named Marshmallow. They have no idea what it is.
Marshmallow turned out to be like a big old like.
It was a fire type. It was my Sawyer.
Oh, really? Because I thought Marshmallow would be a Charizard for some reason.
No,
So I was close.
Name? How did that?
Yeah, so you make them have to have you strategize without even knowing the name of the Pokemon.
I mean, yeah, because I don't actually like. I mean, I'm not that into Pokemon anymore. Like, I even let the most recent ones just pass me by.
I didn't get to Sapphire.
I didn't even
Oh.
get the ones before.
I have the Game Boy Advance ones right there.
I didn't get X or Y. Did they ever make a Z?
No,
X and Y are so good though.
I did that.
Honestly, like I was dying down like with Pokemon when Black and White and Black
Black and White was pretty
Black
good. I didn't
and
play
Black
Black and
White
White 2.
or Black 2 came out. I was kind of dying down. I was like, but then once X and Y came out, I fell in love with the game again. It was so good.
I didn't be totally bought by the original 3. That was a big key for me to
If they brought back the original ones, that would be amazing.
They did for and why they let you that Charmander screw or Bulbasaur.
Yeah, you got to choose. You got
In the
to
beginning?
not at the basically.
Not after your first game.
Yeah, it was basically you choose your original the starter for the game,
Yeah.
and then later on you go through and I think it's like the second city
Mhm.
you get to choose them one of the original,
Okay, so I swear there was a Pokemon game where
and you got a free Torchic to
you
start.
had the same you had a similar thing. Because wasn't there one where it's like after you beat the game, you go to the other region?
Oh, that's the silver and gold.
No, I
Isn't
don't
it?
think that's the one I'm thinking of.
Right.
There was like
No,
I
that's
think-
Gold and Silver.
Yeah, it's gold.
No, no.
After-
I'm thinking of a different one. But what I'm saying is no. I'm not saying you go to was it
Kanto.
Kanto, but
It's Japanese Kanto.
but
Kanto.
But I'm not talking about that because one of them it's like you could get all the
All the
starters.
Pokemon?
Yeah, like
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay.
yeah. That
That's,
might be Black and White actually.
I don't think it was Black. and
Because it was like you could get one starter for each like all like down the hierarchy, but like you couldn't get all of them, right?
Okay.
But I think that might be the one I'm thinking. I might be wrong again. If I'm wrong, just tweet at me and tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, tweet at him. Not me, him.
I mean, you could tweet at him too, just to like at him and at me, and just say that I am wrong.
Yeah, true. You can. Okay.
Oh, you turned out you're wrong.
I again we check the facts, check the tapes.
Check the tapes.
But yeah, no, like I think I don't know but yeah, I think the reason why I didn't get it was I didn't have a 3DS. I still don't have a 3DS. I don't have a 3DS, which is crazy because I grew up a mobile gamer.
I gave my 3DS away, and then the other one is hidden away somewhere.
Yeah, like first I guess console quote unquote was a Game Boy. Or no, I had a Game Boy Color. I didn't have an actual Game Boy. Yeah.
I had a Game Boy. I had a Game Boy too, and then I got it when I got my Game Boy Color. That was such a huge like revelation for me. It was just like, oh my god, it's in color and it's so much.
Yeah.
It was just, oh my god, those were the days.
Those were the days.
Sorry about that. My family and my sister let me know that she got her Christmas gift for me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I shipped it a week ago, so I didn't know we were gonna get them out in time.
Nice.
And I had to make sure.
Okay. I think we should probably wrap this up.
We should. We're at.
We're at a pretty long pace right now.
How long have we been doing it?
Like
almost
that long, yeah.
Yeah,
So
almost that.
Wow.
I think we did pretty good.
You're not bad
So
for first time.
Yeah, this was our first time all together, guys. So I apologize if we rambled on a long time, if we didn't stay on topic, or if we seem inexperienced. But
we are
it's because we are. So if you guys,
but if you like that kind of rambling stuff, totally.
we'll get better. I promise. Just
Yeah.
keep following us. I mean, like I said, this will be on YouTube, maybe on a couple other video sites. We'll link it on Twitter and maybe Facebook or something for you guys.
I think I will. Yeah, because for the audio, I think I'll clean up a little bit. But video is totally fine.
All right, I'll put that on Facebook then.
Probably put it like
Or YouTube.
Like a possible
See-
warning about swearing at one point.
See, this is how inexperienced we are. We're still talking about this while we're recording.
Totally fun, but
Yeah, you could just cut it off.
I'll cut this out later.
I think
Maybe.
I think we should just sign off. How do you want to sign off? Do you want to just like say who we are, what we did? Or
Peace. Deuces.
You know that's bad in I think England.
Deuces.
Not deuces, but this
Peace.
specifically. No, this is fine. This is a swear.
What?
Well,
That,
Yeah, history.
peace.
That's it. Cowboys.
What?
How they end every episode of Cowboy Bebop?
No. I'm not gonna say that's it. It's like see you again, Space Cowboy.
Yeah.
I think is how they ended. But
Star Wars. Go see it.
okay.
Especially you.
Yes, go see it.
So just say who you are, and we'll sign this thing off.
All right. I'm Jesus.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm Aaron, and we were
Nerd
Nerds
no sports. Question mark.
Nerds no sports question mark is the verb name.
All right.
All right, y'all.
Peace.
Bye.
Stop recording.